for the win. Got it! Luke May!
How about them Tar Heels? They are the national champions.
And one. We are back. It's time for another edition of the Carolina Insider. It's a rapid reactions edition presented by Modelo. After the Tar Heels take care of business against Notre Dame today in the Smith Center, snap that two-game losing streak that they fumbled a bit out on the West Coast, come back home, lead by as many as 29, win the game by 22. Jones and Adam here with you. Adam, Tar Heels needed to win the game, A, and they needed a better performance, B. And for the first 30 minutes of this game, Carolina was very clearly the better team. After Notre Dame stopped making some threes, which unfortunately the Heels have seen a bunch of, Carolina really stretched this out from the beginning of the second half to about the 10-minute mark. It got a little messy in the last 6 or 8 minutes, but this one never really in doubt, and the Tar Heels did what they needed to do and beat a team that, due to some injuries that Notre Dame has, the Tar Heels are better than, playing at home, needed to win, did so convincingly.
Wasn't quite a wire-to-wire performance because, as Jones said, the last little bit was a little rough. But I think overall you saw what you wanted to see against a team that I do think Carolina's more talented than. And the Tar Heels able to not make it close and get guys like Henry Vasar and Caleb Wilson some rest and not have to play them 36 to 38 minutes, which I think is nice going into a tougher stretch.
Did you mention Henry Vasar and Caleb Wilson, Adam? Why don't we talk about those two gentlemen who, of course, have been such a dominant factor for Carolina this year? And we'll start with Caleb Wilson. Let's just pick one. He ends up with 22 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, a block, and a steal, and just a Caleb Wilson performance, Adam. Just a little bit of everything from the Tar Heel freshman.
Really like the way he passed the ball. He had a couple really nice passes, but, I mean, the scoring is going to be the highlight. And that three-pointer is first one since, I think, the East Tennessee State game, so first one in ACC play. But then, of course, did what we're accustomed to see him doing, which is make life very difficult for people in and around the rim. But if he's able to add that three-pointer to his arsenal, which you'll hear him talking about he plans to do, then he becomes very, very difficult to guard. And this play, the entire Smith Center, you could hear it kind of went as he got the ball in the open court just to see what he was going to do. And he did say off the air he's got a windmill he was thinking about doing, a couple other things. So next time he's going to add a little something to that.
Wilson again finishes with 22 points, 7 boards, 5 assists, a steal, and a block. He was 8 of 11 from the field, including 7 of 8 from 2-point range in the ball game. His post mate has all year long been Henry Vasar, and Henry Vasar good again. Another double-double, his 10th of the year, 15 points, 12 rebounds, had a couple of blocks as well. Adam, you'll hear me talk to Coach Davis about this. He was plus 30 in that plus-minus category, which means the Heels were plus 30 when he was on the floor and just did a lot of things again to help the Heels win.
And that was in just 28 minutes. I mean, that's an incredible number in that few a number of minutes, which is down for him typically, which is good. But I just love the way he plays. You'll hear Coach Davis. I like the way he described him as almost Carolina's point guard, the way he organizes everything on defense. But also, little ballerina right there. Just the way the Tar Heels drew it up. I thought his first couple minutes out of the locker room were really important. Carolina had probably shot too many threes in the first half and kind of got distracted from getting the ball inside, and he just decided he was going to take it inside. Had a great hustle play when he blocked a shot and then threw it off a Notre Dame player who was laying on the baseline. That was a great play that just set the tone for a good second half.
Speaking of threes, Adam, the Tar Heels did, especially through the first, let's say, 2/3 of this game, the three-pointer was a big part of this. They finished 13 of 34, 38%, okay. At one point, they were well over 50%, and I think the best part about it is these were mostly very good looks. Hubert Davis will talk about this in a second. A lot of clean looks for the Heels from the perimeter.
And you'll hear Caleb Wilson reference it, too. They both use the same terminology. They said when the Tar Heels take the good threes, which not all of those 34 were the good threes, and Carolina started out a little too eager to just take those. 15 of their first 20 shots were threes. But as they settled in and got better looks, as you'll hear Caleb say, the ones with space, it was a more effective part of the offense. And if they can do that, and 8 different players made a three, which ties the school record, if they can shoot the ball that way, it makes Wilson and Vasar that much more difficult to guard.
See Vasar hitting his only 3 of the game. As Adam said, one of 8 different Tar Heels who made a 3 in this game to help Carolina win it by 22 points. Okay, I spoke to Hubert Davis. Adam talked to Caleb Wilson. Let's check out those 2 interviews. We'll come back and look ahead as the Heels head up to Charlottesville to see Virginia. Heels win by 22. Let's check out those interviews here on the Carolina Insider. Carolina wins 91-69 over Notre Dame tonight in the Smith Center. And, Coach, I know a frustrating trip out west last week. Your team bounced back with a quality performance this evening. What'd you see out there that you liked from your group?
Yeah, I did. I thought obviously they did a lot of good things on both ends of the floor, just, from a defensive standpoint, as, outside of offensive rebounds. They got, Notre Dame got 18 offensive rebounds. I felt like we shared the basketball. We were intentional in regards to getting the ball inside to Henry and to Caleb, and if they double-teamed, we had a size advantage, pass the ball out, and get wide-open threes. The thing that I was most happy and most proud of was that we got a lead and we grew it. Like in the first half, we got the lead and we didn't extend it, but we didn't lose it. and at halftime, I said, that's great. Okay, I said, okay, now let's take another level. Now that we have a 9-point lead, let's extend it. And we went on an 8-0 run to start the second half, and just really proud of them for doing that, because that's something that we haven't done consistently throughout the year thus far, and something that we need to do moving forward.
You've been adamant from the beginning of this year that you feel like this is a good shooting team and a team that can shoot well from the perimeter. It got a little messy at the end, and
it did.
There were some threes in the last 5 or 6 minutes, but 13 made three-pointers, and at one point you guys were shooting well over 50% from 3. 8 different guys hit a 3. Felt like that was maybe a little bit more what you envisioned offensively, at least from the perimeter from this group.
I do, and the threes came in, for the most part, in a good way. I always believe, you want to, I want the ball to touch the paint through post or penetration. That's what generates the good threes, and I felt like we did that. I feel like we either entered the ball in the post, we drove in there in transition, drew 2 defenders. There were a number of times where we had a good shot and we just decided to make the extra pass to a great shot. And I think we've got guys that can really put it together from beyond the arc. And it was nice to see, 8 different guys hit a 3 tonight. And I was really happy about that.
Coach, I know that plus-minus stat isn't the end-all, be-all stat.
I don't understand it very much.
But so Henry,
but plus 30 is pretty good.
Yeah,
that's Henry.
So Henry Vasar plus 30. So when he was on the floor, Carolina outscored Notre Dame by 30.
Yeah,
his plus-minus is the best on the team this year, and he's had some really impressive. We all see what he does, scoring, rebounding, et cetera. What is it about Henry that just makes you guys so much better when he is on the floor?
He's almost like like a point guard out there. He just organizes us. He's a veteran player, has, played a number of years in the Big 12 and high-quality games, and, understands how to play. From an offensive standpoint, he's great at setting screens. He's an excellent passer. Again, like I said, just organizes us and gets us in the right spot so that we can execute the plays that we call. Defensively, everyone has to communicate, but at his position, he is the lead communicator, letting everybody know what ball screen coverage we're in, what we're doing on the perimeter, and he just does so much stuff for us. The stats sheet, he fills it up, but the intangible stuff, he does that consistently well also, and that's why he's one of the better players in the country.
Just 2 more things, Coach. Defensively, we've talked about defense a bunch here recently. Notre Dame's numbers aren't very good, 36%, 8 of 25 from 3. Did those match what you saw? Did you like what you saw defensively?
I did. In the first half, we made some mistakes and left wide open shooters off of switches, didn't get matched up one time. But other than that, I thought we did a really good job, for Notre Dame, which is a really good basketball team. For them, they needed to generate threes, even from their bigs. And I thought we did a good job defending their bigs that like to pick and pop and shoot from 3. And so we made them put the ball on the floor. I think at halftime they were 4-16 inside the arc. We wanted them to shoot contested 2s and no open 3s. And I thought in large part we did a really good job of that tonight.
Last thing, your next two are on the road. Your team has proven it's pretty good here in the Smith Center. It has struggled a little bit away from home. How do you take these type of performances and take them to Virginia, to Georgia Tech, and the other places that you go here in the near future?
Yeah, to me, I just don't think there's a difference. I mean, obviously there is. Playing here at home in front of our crowd, it makes a difference, and we love it here, and we feed off the energy. But we can bring that on the road, and we're really excited about the challenge of the next two games being on the road at Virginia and Georgia Tech, and we just consistently have to do the things that we did tonight on both ends of the floor and just put consecutive possessions together where we're doing the right things on both ends. And if we do that, whether we're home on the road, we're going to be in a good spot.
Tar Heels happier tonight, Dave, for sure. After a rough week last week, they bounced back with an impressive win today, 91-69 over Notre Dame.
Alongside Caleb Wilson after Carolina beats Notre Dame back at the Smith Center. Caleb with 22 points and 7 rebounds. Caleb just looked at the box score. Caleb, when you look at a box score, what do you look at?
Definitely plus minus, offensive rebounding, and I guess points too.
What's been the focus these last couple days after returning from California?
Just playing defense and, playing for we, not me.
How did the defensive emphasis that have happened over the last couple days, how did you see those show up tonight?
We definitely focused more on it, and we just took more pride in playing defense. Like, we played with more effort. I think that was really the biggest step.
How about offensively? A ton of threes early, but then as the Tar Heels started to get the ball inside a little bit more, a lot of success there.
We just played to our strength throughout the whole game, and that led us to getting a good lead and maintaining it.
Can you feel the crowd kind of standing up as you get the ball in the open court?
Oh yeah, it's kind of cool. I can hear the gas and stuff like that. I got to pull some stuff out of my bag soon, some windmills or something like that, get it really going. But yeah, I could definitely feel it.
How do you decide what to do? I have never been in the open court and dunked it, surprisingly. So how do you decide what to do?
Well, first it all depends on how your legs feel, and then if someone's behind you, because we can't get injured or, more importantly, miss it. So that's the biggest thing.
Okay, so that's something for everybody to remember out there. Just keep those points from Caleb in mind. A lot more effort today, I think, fair to say, than on Saturday. How do you replicate this type of effort against the remainder of the schedule?
We just got to play hard, honestly. Just know we're going to get everybody's best shot, and I feel like although losing those games were bad for us and like our record and all that, it really kind of exposed what we need to do better. And I feel like it's going to really benefit us later in the season. And honestly, I don't want to say I'm glad it happened, but I feel like it was really good for us.
Coach Davis keeps saying this is a good three-point shooting team and tied a school record today with 8 different guys making a three. What is this team from the perimeter overall, do you think?
I feel like we're a great three-point shooting team also. We just got to shoot the good ones. As long as we shoot the good threes, I feel like they're all going to go in, and I really just trust it.
What are the good ones?
Off of penetration, wide open shots, catching the ball, making sure you got space, and also just shooting off the dribble, but always having the ability to, have space. I feel like any shot with space is a good shot.
I feel like we've kind of gotten to watch your offensive game blossom over the course of your freshman year. We're seeing more turnarounds from you now, just all baseline spins, all that stuff. What's next for Caleb Wilson that we haven't seen yet, but that's coming along?
Definitely my three-point shot. I've really been working on that lately, and I feel like it's going to open up the court for me and for my teammates. So, I'm gonna shoot them more, and I'm gonna make them more.
And he made one tonight on his way to 22 points as Carolina beats Notre Dame. Caleb, thank you.
No problem.
So the Heels improved to 15-4, even up that ACC record. They're going to have to dig out of a bit of hole in the ACC. They're 3-3 now with the win today over Notre Dame, 91-69. Adam, the final question, I think it was my final question to Coach Davis, I do think is relevant here for Carolina. The Tar Heels have proven they're pretty good at home. They've been, outside of that one game where Wake made it close at the end, the Tar Heels have not just won at home. They've been pretty convincing at home against all comers so far. Good teams still to come, but they've been pretty good at home. It's been a different story on the road, and they go to Virginia, to Georgia Tech, 2 places that have been hard for the Heels, particularly in the last 10 years or so. Those are their next 2 trips.
Carolina came into this game holding opponents at the Smith Center to 34.6 shooting from the field, which is vastly lower than what we've seen them do on the road here lately. Notre Dame right at that tonight. They shoot 36%. Now you've got to take it to Charlottesville against a much better team in a different environment on a day the Cavaliers are going to dedicate the court for Tony Bennett. You've got to overcome all that and play the same way you did today.
91-69, again, the final score tonight. Wilson with 22, Vasar 15 and 12, and Derek Dixon. Second straight game that Dixon has started, second straight game that he has finished in double figures. He had 11 tonight as well for the Heels. Adam mentioned it, 8 different Tar Heels hit a 3 that ties a school record as they blow past Notre Dame. Happy final in the Smith Center, 91-69. That'll do it for us on a Rapid Reactions edition of the Carolina Insider presented by Modelo.
Jordan, look at that!
May for the win. Got it. Luke May.
How about them Tar Heels? They are the national champions.